Okay. Barani Taran, please go ahead.
Hi, my question is regarding the general market. As Mr. Shubham sir has said that yeah, you are having an abnormal hit rate because of this roaring bull market. So I want to know what actually stops working or changes during a non-bull market. Why I'm asking this question is because I'm in the view that the stock specific movements will be intact, and also after volatility contraction it has to expand. Uh, so this is my view. So what actually changes in a non-bull market?
What actually will change is that our hit rate for directional trades probably
No,
goes down
not
below 50%.
no, not specific to a
I
hit
mean,
rate, but regarding volatility trades, regarding stock specific movements. So what changes in a non-bull market?
right. So you would be probably seeing a lot more neutral trades from us than what we are giving right now.
Okay.
The reason we've been taking a lot of directional trades have been because there have been a lot of breakouts and a lot of instances where the stocks have touched their supports and support levels and gone up. I mean, we're not experts in technical analysis, but it seems a bit risky to take undefined risk on the call side right now.
Okay.
So that is why we've been taking a lot of defined risk. So the structure of the strategy would probably change.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Pankaj, please go ahead.
Hello, sir. From NIT Allahabad. Sir, currently I am in learning phase of options. And sir, actually मैं sir 1 साल से market में हूँ. But sir, everyone says that you should avoid F&O for at least 2 to 3 years. But sir, every time when I get any short opportunity, and I do not want to trade in intraday. And sir, my thought process for learning options is that sir, कि
Yeah.
अगर मैं ऑप्शन सीखूंगा तो सर मैं इंट्राडे में नहीं चाहता, इसलिए मैं सीखना चाहता हूँ सर. आई डोंट नो इज इट
Okay.
वर्थ और
ओके. तो मैं अपना एक्सपीरियंस बता देता हूँ. मेरा जो रहा है एक्सपीरियंस इसमें इक्विटी वर्सेस एफएनओ में. तो इक्विटी में मेरा ऐसा मानना नहीं है कि यू कैन नॉट ट्रेड एफएनओ अनलेस यू हैव ट्रेडेड इक्विटी फॉर 2 to 3 years. आई डोंट बिलीव इन दिस
ओके सर.
बिकॉज दोनों का ट्रेडिंग स्टाइल जो है वो अलग है. दोनों का ट्रेडिंग का लर्निंग मेथड्स अलग है. I was not profitable in equity when I was trading equity. Then I started options. I don't believe in this that you have to do equity trading first. If you have the capital and if you want to learn, then you can start with FNO trading straight away rather than trying out equity. If you want to do
यस
that,
सर.
it is very much possible.
थैंक यू सर. एंड सर
And secondly,
यस सर. यस
हाँ, बोलिए बोलिए.
सर. सर आप पहले आप बताइए सर. आप बता रहे थे 1 सेकंड.
यू आस्क्ड अबाउट इंट्राडे ऑल्सो. तो मेरा ये सेकंड ओपिनियन ये है कि इंट्राडे इज much tougher for me at least than to make money positionally. So it might be different for others, but that is my personal
थैंक यू
experience.
सर. एंड सर एनी सजेशंस फॉर सर अपकमिंग जर्नी और एनी बुक रिकमेंडेशन सर. करंटली आई एम लर्निंग फ्रॉम Zerodha Varsity सर.
बहुत है. Enough है Zerodha Varsity to start with.
थैंक यू सर. थैंक यू.
All right. Okay. Mahesh.
Uh, Hi, sure. Actually, I wanted to know one question. Till now, I was trading mostly in the Bank Nifty and the index options. So, on stock options, how will be the liquidity if suppose I want to buy next month, option? So, will there be any liquidity, or is there any select stocks where we need to only concentrate?
I think Ashish has shared a group of liquid stocks on the channel. I think it's on the pinned tweet in the Google sheet.
Okay.
But even in that, especially if you're starting out, have a watch list of 20 to 30 stocks that you want to track, or even lower. I mean, even narrower if that's what works for
Mm,
you.
Okay. Yeah. In Opstra, I can see that there is a volatility marking also. Can we use that, or in the dashboard I can see for the stock options and the.
Uh, I, I'm I, I'm sorry, you're talking about the liquidity rating.
What is it?
Yeah, liquidity. Yeah.
Yes.
बच्चे यहाँ बोलते हैं चलो।
Hello.
Okay,
Hello?
so we can use that also, right? The Opstra is also indicate that these are the liquid stocks, something like that.
Yeah, sure. But
Right.
if you're starting out, have a watch list. It
Okay.
really helps.
But in the stock option, can we buy the next month will there be volatility, any issues with that? Like how we do calendar spread and all in the index?
You can, but you might have to wait. So, for instance, right now, October options in stocks will not be liquid. Some stocks start showing liquidity faster than other stocks. Some of the heavyweights like HDFC, Bharti, Reliance, they'll probably be showing liquidity much faster than the other stocks. So
Oh.
typically, I think liquidity comes around for around 35 days, 35 to 40 days to the 4-month expiry. I mean,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks for answering and thanks for help.
thanks, Mesh.
All right. Okay. Set 47.
Can I speak? This is Nikesh.
Hi.
Nikesh, please
Yeah,
wait.
okay.
Hi. It's might be very basic question, but in a few trade which you mentioned, which you suggested in group, there you mentioned that there is a call skew buildup. So can you just explain a little bit about that? What is this call skew and how to check it and like that?
Yeah. So basically, if you want to check for skew, okay, the one easy method to do is if you take a stock which is priced at 100, check the FAR OTM options like the 70 or 70 and 130 strike, for instance. I'm just giving you an example, and check which options are more pricier. Okay, so that will give you an example of, so if say the 70 strike is valued at 20 and the 130 strike the premium is around 12, then that means that that option that stock probably has a put skew. You can check it on Opstra. Opstra has this section called volatility skew. It basically means, so if there is, so let's say sometimes puts are more expensive than calls at lower strikes, and sometimes calls are more expensive than puts at higher strikes. So call skew and put skew can help you devise strategies and structure ratio spreads and vertical spreads very nicely. They work a lot. They work very well. Even in strangles, we've been seeing that there has been a lot of call skew impact recently. So the call strikes are much further than the put strikes for the same delta options and the same premiums.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Indian by Soul, please go ahead, ask your question.
सर बैंक निफ्टी में पूछना है।
पूछिए, बैंक निफ्टी हम ज्यादा करते नहीं है।
ठीक सर, मैंने मतलब लास्ट एक्सपायरी को 36,840 से आसपास बैंक निफ्टी फ्यूचर खरीदा था, ठीक है सर। तो उसको हेज करने के लिए मैंने 36,900 का कॉल सेल किया था, ठीक? सुनाई दे रहा है सर?
ठीक है, हाँ हाँ ठीक है, बोलिए आगे।
तो फिर बैंक निफ्टी और गिरने लगा तो मैंने 36,800 का कॉल भी सेल कर दिया, ठीक है सर। अब उसके बाद बैंक निफ्टी ऊपर जब चढ़ने लगा वापस से लास्ट टाइम में, मतलब लगभग 100-150 की रिकवरी ऊपर की तरफ आया, मेरा फ्यूचर लगभग 36,800 के आसपास आ गया बैंक निफ्टी का। मैंने 840 के आसपास बाय किया था, 800 के आसपास आ गया फ्यूचर। लेकिन कॉल जो मैंने सेल किया था ना सर, वो मुझे ज्यादा प्रॉफिट दे के गया। मतलब ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए था कि, मतलब जैसे जैसे फ्यूचर बढ़ रहा था, जैसे जैसे फ्यूचर बढ़ रहा था सर, तो कॉल भी तो बढ़ना था।
हाँ, तो ऐसा हमेशा नहीं, हाँ ऐसा हमेशा नहीं होता है, क्योंकि कितना टाइम लग रहा है फ्यूचर को बढ़ने में। कॉल का जो ऑप्शन है वो केवल फ्यूचर के डायरेक्शन से डिसाइड नहीं होता है, उसमें दो चीजें और भी होती है, एक होता है टाइम और एक होता है वोलेटिलिटी। तो अगर आप 36,800 पे आज फ्यूचर चल रहा है और 37,000 की कॉल अगर 200 रुपए चल रही है, तो एक हफ्ते बाद अगर 100 रुपया फ्यूचर बढ़ जाए और 36,900 पे आ जाए, तो जरूरी नहीं है कि वो कॉल 200 से बढ़ जाए, वो कॉल 200 से कम भी हो
जाए। तो मैं समझ रहा हूँ सर, सेम डे में मतलब बिल्कुल नहीं चढ़ रहा था, सेम डे में मैं बोल रहा हूँ। मैंने 36,800 का भी फिर कॉल भेजा था 260 पे, वहां उस समय बैंक,
तो वो, हाँ मैं समझ गया। तो सेम डे क्या होता है कि वोलेटिलिटी कम हो जाती है। तो फर्स्ट टाइम जब ब्रेकआउट हुआ होगा तो कॉल साइड में वोलेटिलिटी आ गई होगी, फिर वहां से नीचे आ गया तो वो वोलेटिलिटी कम हो गई, फिर वापस जब बढ़ना चालू हुआ तो वो वोलेटिलिटी नहीं बढ़ी होगी, इसलिए प्राइस ऐसा होता है।
सर 100 पॉइंट रिकवर किया था बैंक निफ्टी फ्यूचर,
हाँ
लेकिन
हाँ जी सर, ऐसा
उसका कॉल 5 पॉइंट भी नहीं बढ़ा सर।
हाँ ऐसा होता है, कई बार होता है। आप ग्रीक्स का थोड़ा देखिए एक बार, ऑप्शन ग्रीक्स का, फिर आपको और अच्छे से समझ में आएगा। आई थिंक जितने लोगों का रिक्वेस्ट अप्रूव कर चुके हैं, आई थिंक विल टेक प्रोबेबली दैट मैनी क्वेश्चन, या एक दो और ले लेंगे। वी नीड टू क्लोज इन दिस इन नेक्स्ट 10-15 मिनट्स में भी।
हेलो
निकेश आप पूछिए, वापस पूछिए, आपका क्वेश्चन क्या था?
Ashish, so this a very big incident happened that Vedanta declared a dividend of 18.5 rupees on a 300 odd price, that's 6%. Okay. Is there any safe way or a little unsafe as well to capture this dividend?
इक्विटी में बाय करो, डिविडेंड नहीं
नहीं नहीं
देगा।
नहीं।
व्हेनेवर देयर इज अ डिविडेंड व्हिच इज more than 5%, then it is not getting, it does not get discounted in future
So if
price.
suppose let's take the example of Z. Z on the price of 180 paid a dividend of 2.5 rupees. So can we capture it through future and option?
नहीं यार, ऐसा कभी पॉसिबल नहीं है कि डिविडेंड जो है उसका आप एक्स्ट्रा प्रीमियम जो है वो फ्यूचर या ऑप्शन की कुछ एक स्ट्रेटेजी बना के वी कैन गेट दैट। इफ द डिविडेंड इज लेस देन 5%, देन वो जो रिकॉर्ड डेट है उससे पहले तक वो 5% के डिस्काउंट, सॉरी जितना भी डिविडेंड अमाउंट है उसके डिस्काउंट पे ट्रेड करने लगेगा, एंड ऑप्शंस जो है वो फ्यूचर के बेसिस पे प्राइस्ड इन होंगे। सो देर इज नो, एटलीस्ट आई डोंट नो ऑफ इट, कि जहां से वो डिविडेंड अगर अनाउंस कर रहा है तो ऑप्शन प्लस इक्विटी प्लस फ्यूचर का कुछ स्ट्रेटेजी बना के उसका एडवांटेज ले
मैं कह
सकता है।
रहा
आई
हूँ
डोंट
कि
नो।
नॉट 2.5 रुपीज, अगर उसमें से 1 रुपया भी एक्सट्रैक्ट हो सके, 4 रुपए भी एक्सट्रैक्ट हो सके विदाउट ओनिंग दैट।
नहीं सर, मुझे नहीं पता।
ठीक है
रीजन सिंपल सा उसका ये है, बिकॉज ऑप्शन प्राइसेस आर रिफ्लेक्टिव ऑफ योर फ्यूचर एंड नॉट
सर।
स्पॉट। तो वो जो ऑप्शन की प्राइसिंग है वो फ्यूचर के बेसिस पे होती है। तो इफ द डिविडेंड इज लेस देन 5%, फ्यूचर विल बी ट्रेडिंग एट अ डिस्काउंट विच इज इक्वल टू डिविडेंड। So I don't think of a possible way you can capture that by making some strategy.
Even if we take a view कि stock will increase, stock dividend के बाद will not go down, if we do a covered call तो भी नहीं possible है?
I don't know, man.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Next.
hello
Panthag. Yeah.
yes good afternoon sir I'm having the question regarding the index option intraday straddle. My question is I want to do some back testing and I will do in the stock market also, but I'm having some custom check like if 1 lakh stock plus is hitting, I want to exist from both the leg and I want to enter newly. So this option is not in the stock market. So how can I backtest with some custom requirement?
Sir, look out for professional backtesters. There are a few available on Twitter. Just look around. You might find one, and जो भी आपको strategy, I mean, whichever strategy you wanted a backtest on, just give that to them and
Okay.
backtest it.
See, actually, I'm tired, but I can't find out. So only I'm asking your guide and help.
Okay,
Is there
you DM me.
anything?
I'll help you with some of the folks.
Yeah.
Shubham, please
Okay, sure.
take. Yeah, Shubham, please take next couple of questions.
Thank you very much.
Hello. Just wanted to ask what are the basically advantage of in stock option upon the index option? Basically, what are the advantage कि हम stock option को ज़्यादा prefer करें over index option?
Sushil, one of the things that I prefer diversifying the instruments. So if I'm only doing index, it's one index, right? It's just one underlying.
Right.
And if I have a gap up, gap down against me, it becomes very difficult to take that drawdown. With stocks, at least I have that kind of a diversification in place. I can take multiple strategies and multiple underlyings. I can adhere to my risk parameters as well. If I want to risk 1.5 or 1% or 2% per trade, I can do that much easily in stock options than index. Index, you have conflicting emotions as well. If you want to put up different strategies in the same indices, it's very difficult as well. So that kind of diversification with in terms of both underlying and strategy is only possible with stock options. Secondly, I have certain backtests which have proven that there is negative expectancy when it comes to trading short wall in indices in both Nifty and Bank Nifty on monthlies. Weeklies, I know of enough cases where there have been huge losses when the indices even move 1 to 2% against you in a short span. So that is why I don't prefer weeklies.
Thanks for the answer.
Thank you, Sushil.
हेलो
All right, Pawan.
यस सर, ये पूछना चाह रहा था कि एक ऑप्शन सेल करके स्टॉक में कितना % मंथली एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं हम अपने कैपिटल से?
Options is not a monthly scheme यहाँ पे. I mean, although लोग sell जरूर करते हैं कि monthly 3 to 4%, 3 to 4%, but on a risk adjusted basis, I think with stock options in the kind of strategies that we are doing, आप around 30% बना सकते हो साल का. But it's not 3 to 4% fixed scheme. कुछ months positive 4-5% भी होंगे, कुछ में 1 to 2% भी होंगे. तो on an overall basis, I think 30% is a reasonable expectation.
सर, अगर मैंने किसी स्टॉक का ऑप्शन सेल किया है जैसे पुट, और वो 30-40% 3-4 दिन में ही डीके कर जाता है, तो मुझे उसको वेट करना चाहिए लास्ट तक या फिर प्रॉफिट बुक करना चाहिए?
आपको प्रॉफिट बुक कर लेना चाहिए. आप एक स्टॉक ट्रेड डालते, ऑप्शन ट्रेड डालते वक्त ही डिसाइड कर लीजिए कि मेरा प्रॉफिट टारगेट क्या है, और 50% के ऊपर तो कभी भी नहीं होना चाहिए. आई थिंक विद इन 30 to 50% क्लोज कर देना चाहिए. खासकर अगर 2-3 दिन में आ जाए तो तुरंत ही क्लोज कर देना चाहिए.
तो सर, अगर वो मूविंग स्टॉक है, जैसे अपवर्ड मूव करना, मैंने पुट सेल किया हुआ, तो क्या मैं उसका ये बढ़ा सकता हूँ? जो भी मैंने प्राइस पे सेल किया था, जैसे कि 690 पे सेल किया तो 700 या 710, अगर वो प्राइस 750 पे चले गया तो?
वो कंप्लीटली एक इंडिविजुअल डिसीजन है. देखिए, आप 690 का पुट को अलग ट्रेड की तरह ट्रीट करिए. 690 का ट्रेड को जब आपने प्रॉफिट पे क्लोज कर दिया है, उसके बाद जब स्टॉक ऊपर चला गया, फिर से डिसाइड करो कि आपका व्यू बुलिश है कि नहीं, और फिर जब आपको 700 का ट्रेड डाल रहे हो, इट्स अ कंप्लीटली न्यू ट्रेड. ये एडजस्टमेंट नहीं बोला जाएगा, ना ये कोई मैनेजमेंट बोला जाएगा. दिस इज अ न्यू ट्रेड. ये एक नया फ्रेश ट्रेड है. 690 का ट्रेड से लेना देना नहीं है कुछ इस ट्रेड का.
ओके, थैंक यू.
Okay, thanks, Pawan. Tanwar, you can ask. Ronak, you can ask, please.
Am I audible?
Yes.
See, main option selling works on the basis of Greeks. So, if we maintain the delta, so what would happen? Say that you started with the straddle, and while taking it overnight, you converted it into strangle because I don't want to see unlimited loss anywhere. Say that the next day it opened the gap up, and you sell the equal amount of delta on the put side, and just keep doing that. So would it be successful? Because I back tested some of the trades and it works gem, but I never tried in the live market because I'm just still saving money for the capital. So any of you have tried that?
We don't like to add on to any trade, especially a losing trade. So we generally, if we start off with a 1:1, let's say one call option and one put option in a straddle, we would not add to the side just because one of the sides is making a loss. We don't believe in selling additional calls or puts to manage a position.
So then it is like disbelieving the Greeks, right? If you're because always any option strategies will be range bound, and if it comes out of range, either book the loss or manage it.
I get your question, Ronak. It is not like the probabilities are changing if you're selling extra options, but the thing is, I'd rather utilize my capital for additional opportunities elsewhere. For two reasons: there might be better opportunities elsewhere. Secondly, you're so psychologically stuck in that trade that he might not be making the right decision at that point of time.
No, it's not that I don't want. I mean, I don't want to accept the loss. It's just that as I want to. I mean, we have the Greeks. Why don't we manage that? That's what I was just thinking. Like we can sell additional one call or put or something like that, not more. And if it is not getting adjusted, then book the loss. So
So
I
Ronak,
was just.
I get your point. What you have to understand is that we have certain limits when it comes to notional
Right.
exposure, which we've already stated. By
Yes.
selling an additional call or put, we are instantly almost increasing our leverage, right? So if I'm selling 2 calls to neutralize the impact of loss on a certain put, I'm increasing my notional leverage, which goes against my own positional sizing. And if
Right.
in case it whipsaws, it does not matter whether you respect the Greeks or not. You can always get whipsawed and tested. Probabilities work most of the time, but sometimes they don't, right?
Because delta will be different. So
Yeah, Ronak,
my question is
Ronak,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, sorry,
Ronak,
I'm
it's
not
not.
arguing. I'm just
Yeah, yeah,
listening
yeah, yeah.
to you guys.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not that it's not just about the delta, which you are keeping in check by adding extra option. It's also the additional gamma risk which you are taking. So
Right.
that way you have to think.
Okay. Thanks,
Okay.
Ashish and Saurabh. Thanks for your
All
inputs.
right. Okay.
Thank you.
Sudarshan, I think last couple of questions, and then we'll close this. Sudarshan, please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. Basically, I'm an option buyer. I do trades on some technical analysis. Does observing delta and IV helps me or gives me any edge choosing a strike for a stock? Am I audible?
Yeah, if you are buying option and if you have a directional view, then if you just want to buy naked option, then I think I would say look for anywhere between 30 to 50 delta, and then also check the volatility. If the IVs are high, just don't buy naked options.
Okay.
Convert it into a call spread or a put spread.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Tanwar, you can ask. Okay, I don't think Tanwar is there. Suresh, you can ask, please. Okay, I think Suresh is also not there. So last question for the day, stonks. Stonks only go up. Stonks, Suresh or Tanwar, if any one of you can hear me, then please go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, Ashish. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. The thing is, just a while back, you said that, or you or Shubham said that, shorting wall on the indexes has shown to be a less profitable or not even profitable strategy on a monthly options basis. Just a while back, you said so, or could you just expand on that a bit more? Is it because the volatility is too low, or what exactly is happening? Like, why would you say the indexes, shorting wall on indexes is not a profitable strategy as of now?
No, so I was speaking on the basis of backtests which I conducted on OFSA.
Okay.
I wish my backtest quality was better, but I'm limited by resources. So if I take for the last 5 years, and if I have been shorting wall on indices, in fact, not just the last 5 years, I think I must have conducted this test 1 or 2 years back as well. This is a different software, and it just showed that shorting wall on indices has negative expectancy. As in, when I say expectancy, I mean the backtest results were bad. They were negative.
Yeah, because I have been
both Nifty and Nifty.
Okay, because I have been selling indices for the last 6 months or so, and I have not been, I would say, very successful at it. I mean, it is almost breaking even. It's not that great. Like, I follow almost the TC trade mechanics of selling it 45 days away, and getting out, being aggressive with my profit booking and etc. 21 days to expiry and etc. That kind of thing, and I have not been much successful. I've been almost like breaking even or just slightly positive on this thing. So, I was thinking of diversifying into stock options, but the thing is that I'm still not comfortable because the stock options are usually settled in cash, settled in delivery basis, and maybe let's say if I do a debit spread and a directional debit spread, and both of them go into the money, then maybe I get stuck with a stock if there is no liquidity, or I don't know what, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so as you rightly said, in the US, even if you're following the tasty trade mechanics.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm audible. Yeah. Yeah, so in the US, even while you're following the tasty trade mechanics, you're not profitable over here. But you have to see that the backness results that they have for US indices, they actually have positive expectancy on their own indices. But for Nifty, Bank Nifty in India, it's actually negative. So even though you're following the tasty trade mechanics, it might not work here because every underlying is different.
Yeah.
And I get your point. Transitioning into stocks is not very easy for someone who's been trading indices. My advice is to take very small trades, one lot trades when you're going ahead with it. And it's okay if you want to start with credit spreads or debit spreads, it's fine.
Yeah, just
But
one.
Nifty, Bank Nifty, especially Bank Nifty, has huge negative expectancy. I mean, very big losses.
Yeah. Okay, just one last thing. Let's say I start with a directional strategies in the stock options. So basically, I'm using debit vertical spread. Okay. So basically, if I am bullish on a stock, I'll be selling in a 50 delta put and just hedging myself with a 30 or a 20 delta put buy. And so let's say all I'm sorry, I reversed it actually. So if I'm bullish on a stock, so I am buying a at the money call, and I'm far out of the money. Let's say a 20 delta call. Okay, so it's a debit vertical spread on a bullish stock, and let's say both the options go into the money. So and let's say it happens during the end of the expiry. Let's say it's around 5 to 6 days to the expiry. Do the brokers ask for a what do you call additional margin or
delivery margin? Right. It depends from broker to broker. My broker does not charge me for spreads.
Okay.
He does not ask me for extra margin on spreads, but I know that one or two brokers do actually charge you delivery margins, irrespective of whether it's a spread or not. So they'll charge you the full delivery margin on the bot call. So you've got to be very careful of that.
Yeah. And they will charge.
And secondly, I would really not recommend carrying spreads into the last 2-3 days, because the spreads get very illiquid. So even if you do reach a profit target which you want to close at, you might not be able to do it.
Okay.
All right.
Great. Yeah.
Thanks, Shubham. Yeah, I think we'll take one last question because Shubham has requested a lot of times. Shubham, go ahead and ask your question, and then we'll close this session.
Yeah, actually, I want to ask about if any trade we could take in terms of the earnings, because next month there will be lots of earnings, so we might be not able to do those strangles and straddles in the stocks. So, what we can do in those earning earning calls and all.
Yeah, Shubham, don't worry. We'll be doing a lot of earning trades, both on the long volatility and short volatility side. So we are very busy during the earning season. It's actually much busier than it is right now, if that gives you comfort. There will be a lot of other strategies that you can deploy as well on the stocks which don't have earnings in that particular month.
Yeah, okay, that helps. Thank you.
All right. I think there are a few open requests we might not be able to take at this point. It's almost 2 hours since we started this. Thank you very much, guys, for joining in and asking questions. It was a really nice session for both of us, and I'm sure it might have been good for you as well. For those of you whose questions we could not take, please go ahead and tweet tagging us, and we'll be happy to answer there. With that, I think we can close this session. Shubham?
Yeah, Ashish, I think we've addressed quite a few queries. And if you guys still need help, either tag us or DM us, or whatever works for you guys.
All right. Thanks everyone once again. Thank you for joining in. Bye bye.
Thank you.